Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am your host, Nancy Matthews, one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network, and delighted to be here with you on this beautiful Wednesday morning and introducing you to Irina Portnova, a manifestation coach. And we are thrilled to have her with us. So make sure you get a pen and paper ready because you're going to want to take notes as she shares how to win the manifesting game. Yes, yes, yes. And before we get started and I bring her on, let me share a couple of announcements in the wonderful world of Women's Prosperity Network. And I'm going to start by saying thank you and kudos to the 100+ women that showed up yesterday for our networking with a twist. Yay, it was a phenomenal experience for everyone who was there. And now I want to encourage you, reach out and follow up with some of the great connections and women that you met. So be sure you go ahead and do that. And a great way to do that is to join us this Saturday for our signature mastermind formula that we call Brilliance, Brainstorming, and Breakthroughs. So just go to our website, womensprosperityNetwork.com, click on that events tab, and you'll see all the great ways that we bring our community together to support each other, to grow together, and to manifest. Yes, yes, yes. That's what it's all about. And also, we've got our it used to be a 2-day workshop, but we're switching things up a little bit so that you can unleash and ignite your superpowers to supercharge 2025. And that's coming up December 4th, 5th, and 6th. And you'll actually get another chance to hear from Irina, as well as several other speakers, as well as giving you a step-by-step plan to map out a winning formula for 2025. So once again, just go to womensprosperityNetwork.com, click on that events tab, and you'll see all the ways that you can join us for this amazing experience so that you are unleashing your best and igniting the fire within you and all around you for an extraordinary 2025. And with that, we're going to take everything we learned from Irina today, bring it into our lives, bring it into our businesses so that we can enjoy and manifest even more. So welcome, Irina.
Yay! Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful and excited to be here on the stage and deliver the best value to everybody who's tuning in. Thanks so much for everybody to join because you're going to hear something that really resonates with you today, because if you are here and if you're listening to this conversation, there is no coincidences. Remember, everything is predetermined in this beautiful universe. And today you might receive some insights, or maybe you're going to receive the answer to the question you've been coming up again and again and again. So I am super thrilled and excited to be here with you, Nancy, and to deliver the best to everybody who is tuning in.
I love it. I love it. I'm excited and I can't wait. So before we dive in, let me tell you a little bit about Irina. She is a certified manifestation star, a speaker, spiritual guide, and podcaster trained by Mary Morrissey. Since immigrating to New York City from the Ukraine in 1994, Irina Portnova has been focused on searching for deeper meaning and purpose. With a no-quit attitude instilled by her family roots and core values, she embarked on a multi-year journey of self-discovery and gained a renewed sense of clarity, focus, and confidence. After working in the corporate world in the accounting field for years, she discovered her true passion and gifts. She's been helping people for many years and finally realized that we're all getting educated in college. However, nobody teaches us how to handle daily life. And that was the epiphany and true eye-opener for her. She shares her personal story by saying that if we don't notice the signs from the universe, we are forced into unpleasant situations to discover our path. During the pandemic, she lost her job and found her purpose in becoming a certified manifestation coach. She is an international best-selling author and podcast host who helps clients live their best lives by filling the gap between where they are now and where they want to be. So join us today in welcoming Irina Portnova.
Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. I appreciate it.
Well, we're delighted to have you with us today. So let's talk about manifestation because it's a buzzword. It's used a lot. We talk about the law of attraction, and lots of people are doing the affirmations and the visualizations, but it's not working yet.
Mhm.
What's going on? Help us, help us.
Oh my God, I just love that question. You know, I just wanted again to define what manifestation is because maybe for some people it's still something new. Manifestation is something that we are constantly doing. We are constantly manifesting, meaning that whatever thoughts we are pondering on, we are bringing them into our reality, into our physical life. And a lot of people are manifesting unconsciously. That means that they are not really setting the goals and their vision, what exactly they want to bring into this world in all areas of their life. And things just happen in their life, right? And I teach people how we can take that power that we all have inside of us when we direct our energy and have something that we truly desire to have in everything, right? In our business, in our love life, in our health, in our time and money management.
Yeah. So, with that, again, I go to lots of people say, oh, I have this goal and I have this vision, what I want to bring into my life. And they think they're doing all the right things, right? Where are the missing pieces for those who are not getting the results they hope for?
That's a great question. Just understand that in order for us to attract what we want, we have to become a different version of ourselves. This is like the basics, right? The person that we are right now is attracting whatever we are vibrating on, whatever frequency we are vibrating, meaning that if you think that we are all energetic beings, if you take out our skin, if you take out our bones, we are just that pure energy. And our energy is creative energy. And we are all vibrating. Everything in this world is, before we talk about the law of attraction, there is a law of vibration, which states that everything in this world is vibrating, right? We are living in the ocean of motion. And everything is vibrating on a different frequency. What does it mean? Let's say if you want to listen to the songs on 103.5, you have to turn to that radio station. Or if I'm going to dial Nancy, if I'm just taking my phone and I call your number, I'm not going to dial Trish, right, with that number. So
or even if you dial one number off, you're not going to get me.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So that's exactly what we are talking about, the vibrational frequency. There are many, many, many frequencies, right? And whatever frequency we are vibrating right now, that means we are attracting everything on that particular frequency. So we understand that in order for us to have the reality that we desire, remember, we do not have to create anything. Whatever we want is already out there, but it's on a different frequency. And it's our job just to tap to that frequency. And how do we do it? So as I mentioned before, we have to step into another version of ourselves. That version who is ready to overcome the challenges, who is just navigating through different struggles and coming on the other side of it. Because remember, once we learn to handle everything in life differently, when we have the tools, when we have this, no quitting attitude, we know we are becoming somebody else, because that person is not the same as we were prior to that, right? And now we are ready to attract a different reality to ourselves. And just remember, we are never done. We are just moving from one frequency to another frequency with growing our awareness. So if I talk about manifestation, I talk about awareness. What is awareness? Is just, If we are not aware about something, if we don't know about something, we cannot really bring it into our life. So what we are doing with this work, we are raising our awareness. We tap into different resources in order to receive exactly what we want. Because remember, there is never the lack of the resources in the universe. It's the lack of our awareness. If we do not ask the right questions, if we are not staying in that curiosity mindset, we are not actually attracting exactly what we want. So the question is, when do you receive exactly what you manifest? As soon as you become that energetic match to whatever you want to have. And I wanted just to give the example that relates, right? Because a lot of people are talking about success in the business, being financially free. And remember, we have to have aligned, meaning match your thoughts, match your words, match your actions to the person that you are becoming, right? What does it mean? When you wake up in the morning, do you think about, oh my God, I don't have the money on my account to pay for the bills? Or you are just starting your day with the gratitude? Because remember, our morning routine is also very important. Because if you start from the point of gratitude, if you start paying attention what you already have in your life, and by the way, by manifestation, you can also include in your gratitude something what you want to bring into your life. You can be already grateful for your financial abundance. You can already be grateful for the success in your business. And the more you stay in that energy, you're setting up your day. And that's exactly how your intentions are coming and unfolding in the day, right? So the idea is, do not keep yourself focused on the lack. And that's exactly what our monkey mind comes to the point, right? Because that's our old programming. We were trained this way, right? So we stop worrying about something that we cannot control, and we laser focus on something that we want to bring into our life. What steps can I take today from where I am with what I have in order to get closer to what I am manifesting? So always come from that mind of curiosity rather than worrying and being fearful, right? Because remember, two strongest emotions that we have, it's the fear and love. I invite everybody to act from love. What would I love my day to look like today? Who would I love to show up in this world in order to attract everything what I want? And when we come from love, we start thinking differently as opposed to when we come from fear. Another good example for the financial abundance, right? If you go to the supermarket and you start like running to that aisle where everything is on sale or cutting the coupons, just pause yourself for a second and ask, if that person who is already financially free and abundant, would she act the same way? And if the answer is no, then it means that your actions have to align with the person that you want to be, right? So even like these little things, if we start like really paying attention and the thoughts that we are keeping in our heads. So each time I tell my clients, the best tool is just to pause yourself in the moment and check what you're thinking. Does my thinking actually serve my vision? Or do I want to experience something that I'm entertaining in my head? And if the answer is no, then you just have to shift your focus on something that you truly desire.
Yeah, I'm loving this conversation, of course. So thank you so much. And when you were talking about finding things on sale or clipping coupons, I'm wondering, I think to myself, well, if I'm clipping coupons because, oh my gosh, I don't have enough money, I need to search for coupons so I can get this thing. Or are you clipping coupons because you recognize that's just another way money comes to you? Oh, here's 50 cents, or here's a buy one get one. Like the energy, we can shift with awareness, like you talked about, shift how you're thinking about the clipping of the coupons or finding the thing on sale. Are you coming from that desperation energy where I have to have this? Now, I could pay full price for this, but isn't it nice that the universe is partnering with me to get this so I can make the best use of my money? Right? That's a different energy around it,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I
But
love that.
But the idea is that we always have to manage our mind. Our success is 95% of our mindset. And a lot of people are still struggling to understand how exactly, put this together in order to manifest everything. And again, when we talk about manifestation, if we have these big goals, we know it's going to take the time to achieve them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I always love the comparison. Like a lot of people are like, okay, I do not see the results. Yes, the results are happening, but one step at a time, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
start manifesting and doing that work, even 3 months, when you look back and compare who you were when you just started and who
But you
you
got to keep it, you got to keep in the work. And, I often say, so it's awareness once again is the key to everything. So if you look around your life, your business, your relationships, your finances right now, whatever it is right now is a result of how you were thinking, feeling, and vibrating yesterday and the day before, and the cumulative effect. If we want to experience something different, the place to start is in our thinking and our mindset, and see that change happen. Like we're planting new trees. Doesn't
Mhm.
happen overnight, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like everything takes time. As I always say to people, if you were given the instrument to play, let's say you were given, the guitar to play, and you never played the guitar, you understand that you are not going to become the expert in 3 or 6 months. You know that you have to practice every day, and
Yeah.
you know that eventually you will succeed, right? You're not questioning, oh, maybe I'm not going to know how to play. You just go into the experience, right, with the open mind, with the open heart, knowing that something is going to show up, right? So the same thing with the manifestation, because like I said, wherever we direct our energy, that's where we are going to produce the result. If you spend most of your time worrying about something, you will have the evidence that shows up in your life that there is more things for you to worry. But if you come from the point, like I said, the best way to neutralize that negative energy is staying in the curiosity mindset. Let me try to do it this way. If something doesn't even work, rather than getting upset and feeling down, just say to yourself, is it interesting? Can I try something else to produce the different result? And it's completely, like it's neutralizing that negative energy, right? And we want to stay again when we talk about the frequency and vibration. How do we understand which frequency we are operating from? We know that the emotions are the best, determining of our energy. If we are staying in joy, in love, in abundance, in authenticity, those are high frequency. If we are
Mhm.
staying in fear, in doubt, in shame or blame, those are very low frequency. So this is the way we can manage where exactly we are vibrating at.
So and you gave us one clue already, but I want to dial in on this a little bit more. So let's say someone's experiencing some big challenges right now, whether it's financial or business or health, whatever that is. And these are things happening right now that can cause fear or worry, insecurity to show up. How do you stop the monkey mind? Because that
Mm-hmm.
can be like, I know I've been through it. I get hooked and I feel like I'm pulled down the rabbit hole. So how do we not do that?
That's a great question. So, like I always say, come from the mind of curiosity, right? If something doesn't show up the way that we want, because I always say we only have like a very small view, but the universe has the bird view. So always trust the process. And like I repeat my mantra, even any negative experience that's happening in my life, I take it as a lesson. I do not see it as a negative experience, because remember, any situation in our life is neutral, but it's all about how we perceive that situation and what kind of emotions we put on, right? And I
Mhm.
love to use the tool. I'm going to give you the tool. The tool is, it's not bad unless you call it it's bad. So it's up to us to give any given situation, like a negative or positive vibration, right? So nothing is bad unless you call it bad. And when we stay understanding that any situation just as is, it is there. It's not good or bad. When we become more as an observer rather than being involved in the situation, we can see clearly. We can look at the situation from a different angle, and we start operating better because we can handle our emotions better, and we can make, remember, when we are charged with the emotions, we cannot think clearly. But when we just stepped a little bit to the side and look at this situation as an observer and trying to make the best out of it, we always come up with a better solution. And just trust the process, right? Like I always like to say that everything is happening for my highest good. Even the unfavorable situation, right? In the moment, we feel it's unfavorable, but as the time unfolds, something shows up and we say, oh my God, now I understand why that situation was given to me, because now I see what a great thing coming out of it.
Yeah, so good questions to ask when you're in that state. Number one, when something, that is you don't like, let's call it that, something you don't like is happening rather than judging it as bad, right?
Right.
Right. So I don't like this. That's the way to go with it. And then, isn't that interesting?
Yes.
What can I learn from this? And under the assumption that everything is working out for my highest good, that our questions determine the quality of our lives. I'm sure you agree with that, and you've heard it and you practice it clearly. So when you ask the question, oh, isn't that interesting? I don't like that. How is this happening for me? Like asking that question has you look in different places for answers, as opposed to why is this happening to me? Right. So how is this happening for me versus why is this happening to me? Yeah. I love that. Isn't that interesting? Or fascinating. What can I learn from this? What can I grow from this?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You often say, I've heard you say that manifestation is a marathon, not a sprint. So let's talk about that for a little bit.
Yes, I love it. So when it comes to manifestation, many people expect the quick results, like a light bulb moment or overnight success story. But the truth is, manifestation is more like a marathon than a sprint, right? It's a journey, not a race. So when we manifest something in our life, whether it's success in business or our love or our personal growth, it requires the patience, it requires the persistence, and it requires a long-term commitment to your vision. Just like people who run the marathon, you can't expect to get to the finish line without the consistent effort, without the practice, without the endurance, and the ability to pace yourself. So we know that the journey becomes even more fun, because once we already have something that we manifested, we enjoy that we have it. But most importantly, we appreciate who we become in the process of that. So yeah, so remember the marathon, it's all about being steady and small intentional action, right? So every day we know when we take baby steps in our manifestation, it takes us to the Mountain Everest. Every step, even if we are not that perfect in that step, every step is going to give us feedback, right? Whether it's a good step or bad step, but we are moving closer. So the most important thing is not just, like stay still and just feel defeated, right? We continue, because in the action, that's where we receive the clarity. We know exactly where we are heading. Also, it requires belief and trust. The same thing as in the marathon, right? There is a time when our body just wants to give up, but your belief in crossing that finish line keeps you going. So the same thing is happening for manifestation. You believe in your vision because it's already yours. You already claim it. But now it requires the work to put you into that vibration. It's also comparable to overcoming challenges, right? Because every marathon runner would face obstacles. They would have fatigue, they would have that rough patch. But the same goes with the manifestation. We know that there's going to be a time of the doubts, there is going to be the time of the setbacks or challenges. But the key is we keep moving forward. We trust in that these challenges are part of the process and they helping us to grow stronger and become more attached to our desires. And remember, our mindset matters. In a sprint, you may burn out quickly, but in marathon, pacing yourself and maintaining that positive mindset is the key. So the same thing with the manifestation. When we stay focused on the bigger picture, even when progress feels slow, we know that eventually we are going to cross that line.
Yeah, and we just got to stay in the game. So the way to win the manifesting game, keep doing the practices, right? Another thing that I've observed in myself as well as in people that I work with and coach is you'll put a practice in place. So whether it's doing affirmations, visualizations, watching your thoughts, and then things start going better. And then you stop, much like, if you want to release some weight, you're going to eat differently, exercise differently, you're going to get results. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can have ice cream now, right? Or I can enjoy whatever it is. What do you suggest for people to be able to stay in the game the whole time? Like, it's not, like you said, it's a marathon. It's a journey that every single day there are things for us to be focused on and paying attention to. So what are some good ways for us to set up a winning formula for staying in the game?
Oh my God. So I have the formula for you, success formula.
Okay.
Bring it, girl. And the formula goes like that. Everybody got the pen and paper? The formula goes like that. Success formula equals mindset plus skill set plus inspired action step. That's exactly what's going to give you the success that you desire. And Nancy, you touched very important point. How do we stay in the game? How do we constantly keep motivated? The best way is to be surrounded by like-minded people, to have the community, to have that support, because I always pointing out, you're never meant to walk this walk alone. We are all together. We are much more stronger and we become superpower than we are trying to do it apart, right? The community is the biggest piece, and have the guide, have the coach, have the mentor, have somebody who is going to see your blind spots, because remember, we cannot see the picture when we are the ones in the frame. So it takes another person to look at our situation from a different perspective and be able to guide us and correct us. And they become our cheerleaders, right? Because there's going to be a time when you start self-doubting yourself and saying, hey, maybe I'm not meant to do this, or maybe this is not for me. You gotta have somebody who's going to support you and cheer for you and tell you, hey, if you had this, if that was your calling, if it even came to your mind, there was a reason for it. So keep walking, keep growing, and you're actually going to become who you're meant to become. So I always invite people to stay in the structure of support. I never do this work without the support. And this is the only way for us to grow. And I know the coaches who already reached a certain level and they stopped having their business coaches, or, whoever the mindset coach, and they just, like hit the plateau. They are not growing, because the only way to grow and evolve is constantly stay on the structure of the support, because somebody already has gone through what you're going through, and somebody can show you the roadmap.
Yeah. Critical piece, which is, why we have our community of Women's Prosperity Network, to bring like-minded women together, and why you've created a community as well, purely focused on this whole manifestation game. So, my friend, we're at the halfway point. So, we're going to open up for some questions and answers in just a moment. And while I make the magic happen behind the scenes, I know that you put something together very special for your WPN sisters. So, talk about what that is. And you're all going to want to grab this because
Yay.
it's amazing
This
what
is
she's
so
gifting you.
good. So good. Yes. So this is the offer that I'm offering to each one of you. It's called It's Your Time to Shine. It's my manifestation membership, and I'm offering it for a month for $1, just for you to try to see if this is for you.
$1. Wait, $1
Oh,
for
$1
full month.
for the full
Wow.
month, right? So what are you receiving for that month? Once you enroll, you are going to have the access to the portal where you can watch all the recordings since we started the membership. And the first recording is all about the vision. How do we create the vision? What are the important pieces? And you also can schedule the free consult with me where we go over that vision, right? That's the beauty of becoming the member. We go over your vision because remember, each word also has the frequency to that. So we want to make sure to recalibrate your vision so you are using these high vibrational words that are matching exactly what you're creating. And I'll help you to guide you through that. And also you have the access to the community. We are meeting twice a month. The first Monday of the month is the masterclass where we cover different topics. And again, once you're in that membership, you can go and explore all other masterclasses that we have. We talk about universal laws. We talk about different topics that people want just for me to open up. And the third Monday of the month is the Q&A. And it's become so much impactful because people are bringing the questions either from their life or they want to understand more about manifestation. And it's always with me. It's not just watching the recordings, although I do have all the recordings of the prior sessions, but it also, like join the community, be with like-minded people, and taking that manifestation game and learn more about the law of attraction. I think this is so, so fabulous and so much value in that.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I know in community is where you get the opportunity to have a mirror reflection. So, and what I mean by that is you may think you have a high level of awareness, your words and your language with your affirmations are on point. And I know that our words often leak our subconscious thoughts. So when you have someone else listening to your language, it can help elevate your vibration by saying, that underneath that, there sounds like there's a little fear when you're saying that. So how you manifest, the way you use your language, I love the phrase abracadabra, right? That's waving a magic wand. And the Arabic translation of abracadabra is, I create what I speak.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So abracadabra. So whatever language we're using creates the results. So get yourself, say thank you to Irina for putting this together and giving you the gift to be able to give it a go for 30 days, a full month, 2 live classes, access to this huge library. And now this is the time for wishes and action.
Mm-hmm.
This is the season.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me
time.
Yeah, beautiful. So let me tell everybody the link to go to. I have put it in the chat here on Zoom. It's also on Facebook for those of you that are with us on the phone. Write this down. So you're going to go to www.lifepalette.net/special offer. So Life Palette is LifePalette, lifepalette.net/special offer. Say yes to your dreams and your manifesting. Get in the game and stay in the game. And Irina's making it so easy by gifting this to you for $1. Like now is the time. Do it, do it, do it. So
Yeah,
good.
I just wanted to add, like the Q&A time. This is so powerful because sometimes somebody else's question is becoming your question. You would be listening
I
and
didn't
like,
even know you had it.
the
Yeah.
question I wanted to ask. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Well, this is our time in the show where we open up to take your questions. So if you're with us here on Zoom, you can raise your hand or unmute your phone, and I'll bring you to the stage to ask your question about the manifesting game with Irina. If you're with us on Facebook, you can put your question in the comments. So now is the perfect time. So go ahead and unmute yourself or raise your hand. We will take your questions and comments to the manifestation star. Irina, this is your time. Um, while we're waiting for people to come in queue, let me ask you a couple of questions. So, my first question is, what about, writing affirmations? Is that part of the process we want to be doing?
Oh my God, this is beautiful. First of all, we all can have our personalized affirmations. By the way, I also created personalized affirmations for all my clients, and they love it, right? There is nothing better than just really align with individual energy and see what really speaks to themselves. So, what are the affirmations? Affirmations are just positive statements that we keep saying again and again and again. So, what we are doing, we are rewiring our brain for the positive results that we want to receive, right? And initially, it would feel like a fraud because if this is something you've never experienced, you would be thinking to yourself, like, this is nonsense. Why do I even say these things? But the more you start saying them, the more your brain is going to believe that this is the reality. And remember what I love about our mind, it does not distinguish between real and imaginary. Just think about it. If you bring yourself to the past of something, like a bad experience that happened to you, you start feeling it in your physiology, like your heart
Yeah.
start pumping fast, right? You start getting a sweating pumps, right? So because of the memories that you brought, although you're not reliving them in the present moment, but it's just to understand that our mind does not distinguish between the real and imaginary. That's why affirmations are so important, and visualization as well. When we could have on the picture of our mind something that we want to bring, and we entertain these images and we put the feelings, right? Because as Joe Dispenza was saying, that our brain produces these electronic signals, but our heart produces the magnetic field and energy. So in the combination, they create that Wi-Fi that we are sending. This is like a strong signal that we are sending into the universe, and we receive exactly what we want to have.
Yeah, so good. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Judy Yates is with us. Hello, Judy. Nice to see you again.
Hi,
Hi,
Nancy.
Judy.
Thanks for letting me ask my question of Irina.
Of
Um, I've
course.
I've been recently picked up following the Earl Nightingale process from The Strangest Secret and all
Mhm.
those other books. And I was wondering, how does your let's see, shine magnification compare to that or contrast to that?
That's a great question. It's all with that, like manifestation. It's still, I believe he talks about the law of assumption. And it's very similar because even though you are talking from different perspective or different modality, but the outcome is still the same. So I have my strategies based on my mentor, Mary Morrissey, teaching Bob Proctor, if you are familiar with him. But a lot of these things I also implemented. I tried different methods, and everything is working. Remember, belief is number one successful tool. If you believe that it's possible, you're going to receive it, right? A lot of times we are not ready to receive. A lot of times, maybe we want to have that successful business, but then again, we entertain these thoughts. Oh my God, I don't want to work so many hours. How am I going to handle all these clients? Just not even, like understanding that by saying or thinking about this way, you are repelling that desire that you want. So it's very important to like actually manage your mind. So my answer to you is just different methods is still going to give you the same result. So no matter which path you take, you're still going to be able to receive what you want.
Thank you very much, Irina.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. And Judy, what I know of The Strangest Secret and Earl Nightingale, as well as Bob Proctor, Mary Morrissey, and what Irina's doing, my experience of all of those things is they're based upon universal principles that are the same, right? So, and maybe just using a different kind of a language or different practices to take these universal principles and bring them into our lives. And that's why, working in community with somebody like Irina and the Shine place that she's created for us allows you to take the teachings of Earl Nightingale and bring them to life today in community. So I see a beautiful harmony between them.
And that's so true. That's so true. Like you mentioned, Nancy, that the universal laws, they work with the same precision as the laws of mathematics. If you apply them correctly, they always work out. So if something doesn't show up, it means we are not applying them correctly or we are not using them correctly. But the way we rewire our brain is through the repetition. You have that framework, and then you are repeating again and again and again. And that's exactly how we train our brain muscle, the same as we would train our body in the gym. We do not expect to have a perfect body in 3 months. We know it takes time, right? But at least with body, we can feel it, we can see it. But when we talk about our mind, it's, it's not visible, but yet you gotta trust, because there are so many invisible things than visible. And if we learn how to trust it, we know that things are shaping up for you every moment, every second, because with every breath that we are taking, we are manifesting.
Thank you again.
Absolutely. Yes, you're welcome.
Beautiful. And how lucky am I? I got to see you late yesterday and early this morning, Judy. Good to be with you again. I love it.
Thank you, Judy.
So
Anybody
good.
else? Like, this is so good. Like that manifestation, it's like, people are studying it for lifetime. There is no such a thing as something is done. It's like I was telling you, are moving from one level of awareness to another. And the more knowledge you acquire, the more you understand how much more you can dive deeper and, live your life on a completely different level.
I love it. I love it. And, it reminds me of one of my mantras that I picked up from Abraham Hicks many, many years ago. And that is, I am in vibrational alignment with everything I wish to experience. So if I'm experiencing something that I do not wish or do not like, I'm not in vibrational alignment, because I'm in vibrational alignment with what I'm experiencing. And in order to experience something different, I got to change my vibrational alignment. So if everything is going just as I wished for in my life, I'm in vibrational alignment with what I wish to experience. And being in that state is what allows the next level to come. We can't, complaining, griping, moaning doesn't move us forward. It pulls us back, right? So how do we come into vibrational alignment? By being part of communities, by staying in the conversation, by doing the practice, and staying in the manifesting game, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Totally.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Let me go ahead and Laura Barker, welcome, my friend. And by the way, Laura, I want to say you've been posting all kinds of golden nuggets in the chat for us.
Yay.
It's so good. Thank you, my friend.
Such a pleasure to be here, Nancy. And Irina, you know how much I love the work that you do. Irina is spot on. I've been following her now, been knowing her for a couple of years, really. And she continues to grow. So I watch her go from one wonderful place to another wonderful place. And the great thing about Irina to me is that, Irina, you break it down into real life experiences for us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
With what what do we need to do to keep staying in the manifesting game? And that it is a game and it is fun. And that vibrational alignment is critical though, right? Irina, would you say that, I mean, can you even, I guess you do manifest if you're not in vibrational alignment, but it won't be really what you want. Is that fair, Irina?
Yes, I love what you mentioned, Laura, and thanks so much for all the beautiful, kind words you said about me. I truly love you and appreciate everything you do. And yes, that's true, because remember, we are vibrating, right? Whatever frequency we are right now vibrating with, that's exactly the reality that we are attracting, right? So anything that attracts to us, it's because this is our vibrational frequency. If we do not like exactly what we are attracting, we know that we have to up level our manifestation game. What does it mean? We are checking with ourselves. What are the main, focus of our mind on a daily basis? Do we have that doubts? Do we have that fear? Do we have that, like negative stinking thinking, right? And we want to up level that game. And even when we talk to others, how do we have that conversation? If somebody's asking, hey, how is your business going? Do we go into, oh my God, you're not gonna believe, I'm still not generating what I'm supposed to generate. I can't keep up with my bills, right? Just manage your mind. This is like the most important thing. And this is exactly what you practice. There are tools that I always give to my clients. Once you start using these tools, you are repeating them and it becomes on the autopilot. So each time when somebody asks you, rather than going into that, negative conversation, you would be like, oh my God, I'm learning so much. I am meeting the people on my way. I'm learning the lessons. And, the thing is that the lessons are going to repeat in your life until we learn them, right? The situation is going to be presented, maybe with different people, maybe with different kind of circumstances, but we are still going to be given the same situation until we learn that lesson. And what could be the lesson? The lesson could be just, like focus on the process. Don't get caught up when. Don't get caught up how. Because our magnificent mind has the way to figure out. Our mind, actually, we are wired to solve the problems. We are wired to overcome the challenges, but you have to allow yourself, right, to be open for the experiences. And I love how we call it the manifestation game, because when we look at life as the game and we become to play it, right, and we just enjoy it, we have fun with that, we have like that childlike energy, this is the best. Like I said, children never get, like a really hooked up. Is either they're going to have it all together, right? They just go into experience. Okay, I want to play this game. I don't know the rules, but I'm ready to learn them, right? And I'm ready to play that, and I'm ready to win, right? So just stay with that childlike energy, coming from that curiosity mindset. Isn't it interesting? Why these things happen this way, right? Why the outcome is this way? What can I tweak? What can be changed in order for me to see the different results? And that's exactly how we train our mind.
Quick follow-up question real quick. Do you find that journaling about that is helpful, kind of just trying to get your thought process down and then maybe make a gratitude list, right? Or do you do that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Journaling is so helpful, because when we journal, we use a completely different set of our neurons in our brain. And when we journal, nothing is coming the same way as we are thinking, because we are connected to the source in that moment, and we start generating some ideas that we would not generate if we would be just having that thought process, right? So journaling is very important. And I love, Laura, I have the tool. I love the intention setting, but I do them the night before. So let's say for tomorrow at night, I would be saying November 21, 2024, and I am writing down the day I want to have, right? Set the intention.
That's really good.
Yes, not only whatever we think, that can happen, not to-do list, but rather what I, like intend to experience, like 10 registrations for my workshop, enrolling the client. And it's all set in the intentions, but there is a difference between intentions and expectations. Because when we expect something, we get disappointed if it doesn't show up in our life. But when we set the intentions, we just, like go into experience with the open mind. And at the end of the day, just read it through and say, hey, I want to see what materialized based on that intention, right? And just have it fun with that. Just play the game and see what's going to show up for you. So you would write as it's already a, completed experience. At night before the next day, you write the next day date, and you say, like I woke up and whatever you want to experience in terms of the business, like I received the money in my bank account. So everything is already in the past tense as it's already happened to you. Yeah. And then just allow things to unfold. And like I said, don't set expectations, just set the intentions. Intentions is just like focusing our energy and be laser focused on something what we want to achieve, what the outcome we want to receive. And the more we learn how to focus ourselves on the outcome that we desire, again, with the time and the practice, it becomes perfect.
Yeah, really good. Thank you, Laura. Great question. And what I'm reminded of, I love the distinction between expectations and intentions, because yes, if I have an expectation and it doesn't come about, I could get disappointed. If I set attention with the underlying knowing that everything happens for my highest and best. So this is my intention, this or something better. Like trusting in the universe, trusting in the process. Like you said, just focus on the process and things will manifest as you would love them to be.
Absolutely. Laura, great questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura. And let me remind everybody, say yes to Irina's beautiful gift for all of you for just $1 to join her community for a full month, access the full library, get 2 live sessions with her during the month. So go to lifepalette.net/special offer. And it's LifePalette.net, lifepalette.net/special offer. All right, let's go. We should have time for one more question or comment. Nellie Williams.
Thank you very much, Irina. Great call. My question is, if I am acting as if I already have what I want, does the universe think I have what I want, and so it doesn't need to send it now?
Oh my God, that's an excellent question. So remember, Nellie, when we act as if, because the idea is our conditioning, right? Our human nature, we are always saying, when I have the business on the certain level, then I'll be happy. When I have that love and relationship, then I'll be happy. But the idea is that we are creating in the present moment, here and now, meaning that we do not have to wait for that future, because that future will never arrive, because the universe always will be thinking about the future, right? So we are creating from today. The idea is we can have that state of being regardless of our circumstances and conditions. The idea is nothing outside of us can dictate the way that we feel and the way that we experience our life, right? And once we connect to that image and saying, like, I'm going to be joyful, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be that person of increase who wants to add the value to other people's lives, right? It doesn't matter what my bank account tell me. It doesn't matter what any outside circumstances telling me, because I can be in that state of mind and in that state of being regardless of anything else. What does it give you? When you are staying in that state of being, meaning you feel, joyful, you feel grateful, you feel light, that means you are vibrating on a higher frequency than you usually, right? And the idea is you want to stay on that level of vibration as long as you can on a daily basis, because guess what? when you stay on that different frequency, you start attracting different opportunities to yourself. That's why we say we want to have that feeling as everything is already here right now, right? Because remember, we train our mind that experience is already here, and we start vibrating on a different frequency, and we start attracting everything on what already on that high frequency. Make sense?
Thank you so much. I need to retune my radio here.
Absolutely, yes.
Turn the dial, right?
We can definitely change that channel. Absolutely. And can I just add a couple of things regarding that? Remember, it's just the same way as we are watching TV and we have the remote with us, right? And if we tune into the news, and you know how news make us feel, right? We feel anxious, we feel fearful, and then you say, okay, it's enough. I don't want to be on that channel anymore. You take your remote and you switch to the animal channel, or you switch to the travel channel, and you feel like you're feeling at peace, you feel great, right? So that's exactly how we can actually switch our thinking, and our thinking is going to reflect the way we feel. And that's exactly when we feel great, we are going to take different action steps, and we are going to produce different results. So there is that connection with everything, right? And remember, we can always change the channel of our thinking.
Right. And that's where we have the power, right? It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good, good, good. Thank you, Nellie, for bringing great question and opportunity to the table. All right. And Keisha, let's wrap up with this. Keisha says, does it matter with your choice of words, such as I am going to be happy versus I am happy?
Absolutely, Keisha. Such a big change, because when you say I am going, it means that it's somewhere in the future and you are not receiving it right now. But when you say I am happy, or I always feel happy, right? So it brings, like, even the word always amplify the frequency, right? So we use these powerful words even to make it even more to reach on that frequency. Yes, always say something in the present tense. And when you write something, journaling and the vision, I always teach my clients, even in the past tense. I've came back from that trip, or I got married, or anything else, because then our mind take it as a it's done deal.
Very good. Awesome. Great question. Irina, thank you for pouring into us today so beautifully. Thank you to all our guests for joining us. Be sure to say yes to Irina's invitation and go to www.lifepalette.net/special offer. And that's all one word. Thank you again, Irina, for showing us the way to stay in the manifesting game. I appreciate you greatly, my friend.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to be here in this space and to support everybody on their manifestation game. And please check out this beautiful offer. This is something that you are going to gain so much clarity. Even if you stay with me for 1 month, you'll see how your mindset is going to think differently, and you start acting differently, and you're going to produce different results. So stay in the game and you'll see the magic happens.
Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. Thank you. Get out there, my friends. Play the game. Have a good time with it. And remember, everything is always happening for your highest and best. Blessings all. I will see you next week for another Wow Wednesday. Until then, make it an amazing day. Bye, Irina. Bye, everyone.